back to another One Chart lesson. I'm Matt Toms. Today is a little bit different. I'm going to show you how to play a song that's not the way that Ed Sheeran plays it. So looking at Ed play, he very clearly uses these chords. He plays a D, walks it up to a G, uses this nice little kind of a B minor. Well, it's really a D sus4 over a B, that chord, and then an A7 sus4. But he's leaving those two fingers on the third fret of the B and the E strings to get that kind of high chimey sound, which is all great. And he strums it kind of like, which is all great, and it's a fantastic song. However, when you listen to the actual album version, you hear, and right at the start, you'll hear these notes that are actually higher than those notes there that you hear on the guitar. So I figured out a way to play this. Like I said, it's not the actual way he plays it, but it's a way that you can get close to that sound where you hear those high notes kind of droning all the way through the song. Now, if we put a capo on our 5th fret, we can use chords, open chord shapes mostly, that leave those two top strings open. And what that means, instead of the original chords, what that means now is that we're going to play these chords. Now, it's an A sus2, then it's a D sus2, and that has the open E string, but the 3rd fret on the B string, 3rd fret from the capo, that is. So it's that shape, a D sus2. Then we move to an F sharp minor without the bass note. So you're strumming only from the A string down. So I guess that's an F sharp minor with a C sharp bass. But I've just written it as an F sharp minor. Just don't play the bottom E string. You can, but then you've got to kind of try and fret that note as well. So it's easier just to do that, and then makes those chords a little bit more consistent. The very last chord that we're going to is an E sus4, which is just your E chord with your pinky on your 2nd fret G string. So A sus2, D sus2, F sharp minor with the 2 open strings on top, and E sus4. If you play those, now I haven't written those variations all throughout this chart, so when you see an A on your chart, play an A sus2. When you see a D, play a D sus2. When you see an F sharp minor, play that chord. Similarly for an E, play an E sus4. So I've just kept your chart nice and clean and simple because the actual song itself is a really nice straightforward chord progression. So the other thing that we need to do now is strum 16th notes. So instead of the, which is absolutely fine, and if you do that, you're going to get close to the sound. But remember, this is kind of about making it sound as close to the album version as you can on one guitar. So if you're doing that, you're already halfway there. So you're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, right? 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And every time you come back up for another downstroke, you're going past the strings again. If you actually add those upstrokes, you're not strumming any faster, you're just hitting the strings twice as often, if you know what I mean. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So that, sped up, is how we're going to play this. Now, that's fast. And if you are using a pick, you may want to get as thin a pick as possible, and this is a Dunlop Tortex Red, but you know, any thin pick, to let you do that very fast 16th note strum. And remember, lean on the top strings because they're the notes that you really want to kind of hear going throughout. I still find a pick a little bit awkward to strum that fast, and that smoothly and evenly. So what I'm doing, instead of actually using my nail, which I would normally do, most of my strumming when I'm going that fast is just the tip of my second finger. So this finger has no, sorry about that, this finger has no real nail on it, no long nail on it. So most of the strumming is actually happening with the fleshy tip of the finger, but that lets me get a really light touch on the strings, and the lighter the touch of your strumming fingers, the more control you're going to have over it. So hear that? And it's almost just brushing over the strings without really strumming them, and you kind of get that. It's an almost a constant thing rather than a separate strums. That's what we're kind of going for. And he's putting some accents in there. You hear that sort of. But what we really want to go for to get it started is that a really constant light brushing. That's really it. That's the secret to getting that sounding like it does on the album, and that'll give you those high notes ringing throughout. And the rest of the song is quite straightforward. You know, there's no surprises there. They're just different chords than you'll see Ed playing on an acoustic. Like I said, his chords on the acoustic are D, G, D sus2 over B, A7 sus4. And just different combinations of those through the different sections of the song. But this way, I also like to think that he's kind of crossed. I saw in an interview that he said he wrote this song because he wanted to write a song kind of like Bruce Springsteen's The River. And if you're not familiar with that album, go and have a listen to it. But it's that whole kind of homecoming story type song. This is his answer to that. So he's combined Bruce Springsteen with, I think, a bit of Oasis, keeping those two fingers on his chords. You think I'm wrong? Let me know in the comments. I'm happy to be corrected, but you know, I now can't help but think of this as Ed Sheeran's Bruce Springsteen / Oasis song. However, if you want to have a go at it my way, download that chart, get those chord variations down, put your capo on 5, and get those 16th notes strumming, and let me know how you go. Thank you for watching. We'll see you here again next time.